Hey guys, it's June 23rd. I think it's day, I kind of lost track, but somewhere around the 35th day, something like that, of being totally off grid. So I thought you guys deserved a little update to see what's going on. It's honestly all been working really well, better than I expected. In these roughly 35-ish days, we've only had, I think, 4 days where I've had to connect grid power just because we had a string of cold, crappy days or something, and maybe we took a road trip and we needed to charge one of our cars or something. But it's been, I think, just 4 times we've had to go on grid. And then we've also had 4 or 5 days where we have made more power than we can use. Like today and yesterday, we have a ton of power. Both of our RAV4s right now are charged. I have the T-Rex out here, and I know it looks pretty crappy, but I just have some insulation over top of it to keep it a little cooler, because without the airflow going through the fans here in the front, it was not hot, but it was running right around 30 degrees Celsius, and the insulation really helped keep it cooler. And this is on the east side of my house, so this side gets all of the morning sun, and right now I think it's about 3 o'clock, so you can see some shade is hitting it, so it'll be shaded here shortly. But the T-Rex here and both of our cars are fully charged, and we still have a lot of sunlight that we could be using. So I'm already thinking about how I could use a bigger battery pack. And obviously I have the T-Rex V2 that is a bigger battery pack, and we'll be able to use that at some point. Still waiting on that controller, but once the controller is in, then I could be using that for storage. So obviously we're in the good season for off-grid solar power. I'm guessing that it's not going to be quite this good in the winter. We're probably going to have to be on grid quite a bit in the winter, so just have to appreciate this awesome weather and good conditions while we have it. I guess I could talk about some of the stuff on the display right now. I'm sure you can't see it, but the solar panels are producing anywhere between 5 and 7 kilowatts, which again, I'm surprised it's not higher. I guess the sky could be just a bit hazy. I have seen plenty of times where it gets up to 10, even 11 kilowatts, but also the reason this is probably a little lower right now it's a 5.8, is because this battery is basically full. It's at 374 volts, and I have the cap set at 377 volts. And then for the load in the house right now, I did buy an electric dryer, because before we had a propane dryer, and because we had a few days that we were just making so much power, I said, let's go get an electric dryer and just try to move towards renewables as much as possible. So right now we're using the dryer inside, and I have my car plugged into 110, and it actually just dropped. The load was at 7.4. The dryer isn't using power for heat the entire time, so it does fluctuate a little bit. So right now it's at 2.2 kilowatts, but just a minute ago it was 7 plus. So with the solar power coming in, some of it's going to the load and some of it's going to the battery to top the battery off and keep that at 377 volts. It's all been working just surprisingly well. I really hope this lasts as long as possible, because I just know at some point the sun isn't going to be as strong and it's not going to be providing as much power, and just appreciating it while we have it. And we also did receive our first electric bill since going off grid, and the bill had part of a month that I was still on grid, and then part of the month I was off grid. So normally our bills in the summertime are 200 plus, usually $260 a month, somewhere right around there. We do have central air, so we were using that regularly. We haven't really used that much at all since going off grid, even though it is possible as long as we're not doing anything else. So if we're not charging a car, if we're not doing laundry, we can use the central air, which is pretty nice. But we've only used that a couple times. So anyways, yeah, our bill is usually around 260-ish in the summertime. My last bill was 80 bucks. I'm hoping the next bill is significantly lower, hopefully barely anything, because this next bill will be the first billing cycle that we have been totally off grid. So I'm really looking forward to seeing that bill and seeing how low that number is, hopefully. I guess that's about it for the update. I'm gonna pull the T-Rex out here shortly. The version 2, I've got a lot of sanding to do. It is going into a paint shop July 3rd. So I've got just a couple weeks to get it sanded and get it a little bit cleaner, a little nicer, and get ready for paint. Unfortunately, it's not going to be like an auto body finish. It's not going to be perfect because the fiberglass would need a lot of work, a lot of filler, and that's one of my least favorite jobs to do is body work and all that stuff. So I'm going to do the best I can, and the paint shop is going to do the best they can, and it's only going to be about $2 grand to paint it. Only, I mean, it's still more money, but they're going to paint it gloss white, so hopefully it'll help mask some of the imperfections, but it has to get painted because the resin will break down with the UV rays, and I'm really dying to get out there and use it, so I need to get it protected. But I guess that's about it here. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.